Great Monday morning, you all. How are you all doing? Happy Monday. This is your girl, Shan. I hope and pray that you all had a nice and relaxing weekend. I want to say a happy belated Mother's Day to all of the mothers out there. I hope that you got treated exactly the way that you deserve to be treated. You were able to relax, kick back, chill, whatever it is that you get away, whatever it is that you wanted to do for this weekend. I hope that it was done and that it was amazing. And so one of the things I'm gonna do is get into the church announcements like I always do. Join us tonight for Marriage Mondays with the Kings at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time on KRGN 98.5 FM, The Rock. We're going to have special guest, Dr. Letitia Wilson. She's the clinical director and owner of Narration of Life Counseling Services. And what we're going to be speaking about on tonight is children's mental health. One of the things that we constantly speak about on the show is the things that we do as adults. How does it affect our children? Or how does it affect children that looks up to us? But keeping in mind, these children of today are going through a lot of things that we didn't have to go through as children. You know what I'm saying? The most we might have had was a tornado or something like that. But you got these children that are dealing with bullying at a higher level. Good morning, beautiful. They are dealing with mass shootings, and different things like that, having to outrun and duck from bullets. And so we're going to ask her all the questions on tonight, meaning Dr. Letitia Wilson. And so join us. If you would like to watch the show, there is a link right here if you're watching from Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. You can hit on that link. And so it'll take you to the premiere, and then you can hit the get notified. So that way, when we get ready to, the video portion go live or whatever the case may be, then boom, there you are. So I want to kind of speak about that. But can't wait to get into tonight as we're continuing on with mental health. And that's one of the things that I want to speak about on this morning. Mental health. Listen, there are so many things. Oh my God. When it comes to my age and older, there are so many individuals who are there's a lot of people that's struggling with mental health, but there's a lot of people that are my age and older, a little bit younger, that are struggling with whether or not to get help. So what I want to speak about on this morning is emotional punching bag. Now, when it comes to somebody acting a fool, when it comes to their emotions, 9 times out of 10, their favorite phrase is, that's just how I am. Or you'll hear people say, well, that's just how they are. They've always been that way. Let me share something with y'all. That's an excuse. Because if the individual truly wanted to change, they wanted to get better, they wanted to no longer operate the way that they are when it came to their emotions being dysregulated, because that's what it is, then they would do the work that they need to do to get better within themselves. I believe that it is time out for us to stop making excuses for other people. Okay. And this is some things that I want to break down. Now I'm being kind of all over the place, but let me start with the women. One of the things that I am learning in this day and age, that women, when it comes to somebody that they're dating or somebody they want to marry or whatever the case may be, they desire for them to be emotionally intelligent. And let me break down what that is. Being emotionally intelligent is somebody who is intelligent enough to fully be able to communicate their emotions to the person that they're in a relationship with, or if they have children or whatever the case may be. Because a lot of us was raised and our voices were not cultivated, what we will tend to do when we get angry or our emotions get dysregulated is we'll act a whole fool. That's what we'll do. And this is what I want you to think about, because I'm a very visual person. As I try to explain, this is a little more serious on today, because there are a lot of people who are flipping out emotionally, and we're too grown for that. Okay, so let me go ahead and kind of make it plain. When you see somebody and you talking to somebody and they going off throwing an adult temper tantrum like a 2-year-old kid would be, when the kid is in the store with their parent and they asking, can they have this toy, and their parents like, no, because it wasn't in the budget or whatever the case may be. It's like, no, or you got enough toys at home. Then they act a whole fool. And what do? They fall out, they screaming, they yelling, they doing all the things, right? There are too many adults that does the same thing. And so what tends to happen, there used to be a phrase, and it still is a phrase to many, that those who you love, meaning the ones who really love you, they're really close in your circle, that's the one that you generally tend to treat the worst. Why? Because you know and you feel that they're going to always be there. And so what sometimes we tend to do as a people is we run behind those who don't even care about us. They don't care about nothing that's going on with us. You know what I'm saying? But we try to treat them nice and treat them with kid gloves and treat them with sugar, while the ones we love, we treat like dirt. And so what we do is say, well, that's just how I am. That's an excuse. That's just how I always be. That is an excuse. But let me ask y'all something, because I was asking somebody this as well. Where do we get that from, where we just allow ourselves to be someone's emotional punching bag? Where did we get that from? Where we just allow ourselves to be abused emotionally because the individual that we are in relationship with, or that's our family member. See, we've often been taught, oh, that's your family. You got to love them. No matter what they do, you got to love them and you got to be there for them. But is that really love? How can you love somebody that's treating you like dirt? How can you love somebody who's not putting your best interest in mind? How can you continue to be there for someone that you're treating like a priority and they treating you like an option? But then what we tend to do is we set up and we get mad because I don't have no friends. I got a small circle. Don't nobody want to be around me. You know, forget people. I'm cutting them off or whatever the case may be. But have you actually sat down with yourself, by yourself, and quiet and ask yourself, what is it about me? What do I need to change? What is it that I need to get right and to get better? See, we've ran so long after this being perfect and having this perfect image. Some of us grew up with, baby, couldn't nobody know what was going on in your household when you was a child? Couldn't nobody know that you were going through? We were kind of taught and groomed and indoctrinated, if you will, to continue to put a smile on your face, even if you are not happy. And so you find yourself in a relationship with somebody who treats you like dirt. They treat you like crap. Let's just be honest. And then in our mind, we imagine, oh, they'll change. Oh, they'll get better. Oh, if I just do this for them, if I love them this way. No, sweetie, no matter what amount of effort that you put into a relationship, if both individuals, either male or female, are not mature emotionally enough to be mature enough to communicate how they feel, they throwing tantrums. And this is the thing that always get me. Not taking personal responsibility. When individuals, because they're emotionally numb, because they got all these issues going on within inside themselves, both emotionally and mentally, then what they do is they feel like they have the right and the power to treat you like an emotional punching bag. There are so many that are in this situation right now, whether it be with your family, whether it be with the individual that you're married to. And then if you're a whole grown adult, you're a parent and you have children, then guess what we tend to do sometimes? When our emotions are not regulated right, when we don't take the time to ground ourselves, which I know this is probably like a bunch of mental health terms that I'm throwing out there, what we tend to do is we'll tend to turn around and we'll use our children as emotional punching bags. We'll talk crazy to them. We'll push them away. Guess what? Children didn't ask to be in this situation. Children didn't even ask to be born into this world. And we have a great responsibility that God has placed on us as parents. What is your child learning is love. What is your child learning is love. So when your emotions, you talking to them like a dog, you cussing them out like a parent, you shutting them out when they need you as a parent who, you know, children should be able to come to, then you sitting up here and you treating your own kids like an option and you treating some bum like a priority, because I've seen a lot of women do that. Let's talk about women and men real quick. Women, I've seen a lot of you sisters, and I'm not trying to come for you or beat you up. Just get it right. Just do better. You know what I'm saying? That you will sit up here and treat a no good man. Let me say it like that. You'll treat a no good man like your priority while treating your child who needs you like an option. Because you want to feel loved. Because you want to be accepted. And whatever the case may be, while your child is sitting here suffering. And guess what? As your child is learning from you, because a lot of us our age like to blame our parents, but I guarantee you a lot of our children are going to want to blame us as parents because we're not doing the best that we should be doing as parents. We're not even carrying out the word of God and what it says as parents. Father, you're provoking your children to anger, which the word of God tells you not to. You know what I'm saying? But we are quick, especially in in the church building, we're quick to try to tell somebody else how to live according to the word of God when we're not even doing it ourselves. Just say ouch and amen, okay? And then say, God forgive me, and go get that thing right with others. And so what we'll do as women, because we want to be loved so bad, we treat our children like an option. We set up her and have this no good person around our child, and we know better, but then we'll set up her and get mad when our child goes and marries somebody just like the situation that the child seen, because the child feel that that's love. And then men, let me go on there to holler at you real quick. And I hope mothers, for those of you mothers and fathers who are raising children, okay, I hope and pray that you are seeking God, even though it probably wasn't done for us in our generation, but you are seeking God on God help me and educate me and surround me with people that will help teach me and guide me, and you guide me, God, on how to help my children cultivate their voice. I never had an opportunity to do that, God, but please teach me how to help my child and my grandchildren and whomever how to cultivate their voice. Because guess what? When an individual's voice has never been cultivated, you know, I was talking about earlier, the little child walking around and they throwing a temper tantrum and acting a whole fool because they won't get a toy. We as adults do the same thing. When we don't get the attention that we think we deserve, when we don't, good morning, beautiful, we don't get the attention that we think we deserve, we don't get the love that we think we deserve, even though most of us don't really know what love is. We know what was modeled in front of us, and for a lot of us, probably 95% or more, that was not love. It was a bunch of tomfoolery. And so when we're finding that out, then it's like, oh my God, in adulthood. But let me talk to the men real quick, because I also want to talk to the parents, especially the mothers. So there are a lot of women, like I was saying earlier, that they desire to have a man who's emotionally intelligent, who is fully capable of communicating his emotions. So she ain't got to set up her and guess and say, well, baby, what's wrong with you? Nothing. Okay, baby, I know something is wrong because you're not acting right. Why don't you just open up and talk to me? Women, how many times have we said that to a man that we are in a relationship with? And then we'll set up and we get mad at him because we feel like he don't trust us enough to be able to communicate his emotions. And then when he try to communicate his emotions, guess what he say? You the problem. You the problem, because you always do this, you do that, you do that. Instead of saying, you know what, because an emotionally intelligent person will say, you know, one of the things that I realized about myself, I often get upset. And I blame you, baby. And it's not you. Only thing that you're trying to do is to love me. What it is this void that I have in my heart from childhood. What it is this abandonment that I feel and is birthed from childhood, and I never dealt with it. I've been walking around unhealed, and I've been fussing and cussing everybody out. That's why people, when it comes to being on the job, you know, you got people that got a little bit of authority and power. You got people that are, you know, CEOs or whatever. You got people that are leaders in the church, and they want people to jump to them. And I apologize for using that term. It's a military term, but they want people to worship them. They want people to jump to every little thing they say. And it's ironic that you have people that's in power, that's what they want you to do. But Jesus wasn't like that. Jesus didn't abuse power and assert power like that. Jesus was an example. Jesus brought people together. But that's what we tend to do when we have a little bit of power. And so we go in with a nasty attitude at work, and we huffing and puffing. Why you bringing that energy into work? People are going through enough on their own. We don't know what each other's going through because we no longer have that village. We don't have that support system like we did growing up. And that's why we 45 years and older is having so many issues in our lives, because we grew up with a village and the village no longer exists. And so what we do is, because we're mad and we're whole grown adults and we don't know how to regulate our emotions. I'm not talking about stuffing it in and pretending like everything is okay. Now I see why so many people walk around with masks on their face like they're happy when they really not, because that's how we were taught to be growing up. We couldn't show that anything was going on in the household, so we always had to pretend like we was happy. And don't get down at that school and you tell them people my business, even though the teachers are saying at the school when we were growing up, if there's something going on, feel free to tell us. So what we do is we bottle all that in and we spew it to those who really love us, those who really support us. And that's where we're messed up today, my age and older. That's why sometimes it's so hard, because what we'll do is we'll cut off the very ones that God sent for us to bless us. Let me say that again. We will cut off the very ones that God sent to us, that we've been praying for a support system to bless us. And then we'll say, woe is me. And oh, I got this going on. And I got that going on. And all that. Guess what? Everybody got something going on. And we're not trying to minimize I'm not trying to minimize anything that anybody's going through. But for the men, guess what? Guess what one won't? A lot of them can provide for themselves. A lot of them can do for themselves. A lot of them can hold it down for themselves. What they want is a man that is emotionally intelligent. And that's what a lot of women are not getting today. What they are getting is bruised, broken men who, I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. You lying to yourself and you destroying every relationship around you. And guess what? Women are tired of being your emotional punching bag. Because you can't regulate your emotions, because you can't place the blame where it belongs, because you can't go and get the help that you actually need, because I'm good, I'm a man, we don't go get no help. All that mess that we was taught, a lot of that mess we was taught about growing up, kick that mess out the window. Go on somewhere with that. Because guess what? Just like you go through, sir, we go through. So let me talk to the mothers. Mothers, and I'm saying mothers. No, fathers too. I'm not going to assert the responsibility to mothers. Fathers, you may not have had that emotionally intelligent, but you know how we as parents want the best for our kids. Get better for your kids, parents. Okay, the mother and the father. Teach your child how to ground themselves. Teach them. Well, I don't know how to do that, Shan. Well, go put them in counseling. Because what they learning is not going to help them. They're going to grow up. They're broken children. They're going to grow up to be broken adults. And we have too many broken adults that's walking around throwing adult temper tantrums because you can't get your way and get the attention that you feel that you need. And you placing the blame on everybody else instead of placing the blame where it belongs, okay? If it was some stuff from your childhood, you can't go back and change that. I can't go back and change nothing from my childhood. Me blaming my parents ain't gonna help nothing. But me being a whole grown adult, I need to learn how to regulate my emotions, because guess what? Grown folks is tired of being around grown folks who all you do is woe is me and you throwing adult temper tantrums. Or you sitting up here, you blaming everybody else. You blaming God and everybody else. You blaming the devil. Oh, that ain't nothing but the enemy. And see, that's where a lot of us saints in the church, a lot of us that was raised, a lot of us that was taught, oh, that ain't nothing but the devil. And the devil ain't got, this is what I'm learning, the devil ain't got a lot to do with none of that. The devil used to be a blame. So either we gonna blame God or we gonna blame the devil. But it's very funny how we never take personal responsibility. It's very funny how we not willing to do what we need to do to have that growth. You know what I'm saying? To become a better version of ourselves. A lot of us are not doing that. We are going along to get along, and we are continually doing the same thing that we have been doing. So raise the bar and learn how to be emotionally intelligent, because people are tired. People are fed up. People are struggling in their life. And yes, this goes with mental health, but it also goes with relationships. People are struggling. And you have no idea how bad people are struggling and hurting inside. And then you come and you throw your mess because you're a whole grown adult who's not able to regulate your own emotions. Shan, I don't know how. I wasn't taught how to do that. Go get you a therapist, baby. Go get you a therapist. Get you somebody that's going to help you through. Because guess what? In the 2023, we tired. We're not putting up with anybody's adult tantrums, whether that be somebody that's your friend, somebody that's your leader, somebody that you in relationship with, somebody that's in your family. We sick and tired of being sick and tired. And you can often tell the ones who are doing the work on themselves and trying to become a better version of themselves by the way that they speak. One key indicator, let me go ahead and break it down for the singles. If you're in a relationship with somebody, if you having a conversation with them and they blaming everybody else, baby, let that be a red flag to you. Because guess what? If they blaming everybody else and they not taking any personal responsibility, guess who they're going to be blaming next? You. When y'all say I do, or when y'all move in together, or whatever the case may be that people do now, they're going to start blaming you. The shift of the blame will go from everybody else and it's going to go to you. And then you're going to be sitting up here wondering, why are you getting beat up on emotionally? You didn't sign up for this. Emotional punching bag. So us parents, we got to do better. We got to do better. We have to teach our children. We say we are willing to do anything for our children. We can go and buy them all this. Well, ain't nobody got money for counseling. What, really? You ain't got money for counseling, but I bet you your child got all these shoes lined up in their closet to make them look good. It's funny. We make sure that our child look good on the outside. We ain't gonna even talk about AAU if they play sports, baby. We ain't even gonna talk about any of that. So basically what that's telling me is the priorities is out of order. It doesn't matter how good a person look. There are so many adults that's walking around right now and all the name brand stuff. They broke. You know what I'm saying? But they're struggling internally. So it would behoove us to do the work and make sure that our children, the work on the inside, work on the inside going out, not the outside going in. Okay? We do not need to produce another generation of broken adults. Let us start now with doing better. And that's going to start with us as parents. And then go and apologize, a sincere apology. Like I said, I've done it before with my adult children. Y'all seen some things that y'all shouldn't have seen. When me and my husband was young and acting a fool and throwing stuff and breaking stuff, I told y'all seen some stuff that y'all shouldn't have seen. And you know what? That's not how it was supposed to be. And I apologize for that. But we won't do that because our pride won't allow us to do it. But guess what? People are sick and tired of being sick and tired of sitting up being emotional punching bags for emotionally dysregulated adults. Okay? That means adults who are not regulating their emotions, who are not able to communicate their emotions in a healthy way. People are choosing peace. Okay? People are walking away from dysfunctional situations. And let me say one last thing that I would like to share, and I don't know who this is for. A lot of us grew up in survival mode. Okay, where you did everything you could to survive. You may not have had the basic needs, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. I remember a mental health provider I work with sharing that with me, and she broke that thing down. So your basic needs. You probably didn't grow up with food. You probably didn't really grow up with clothes. You didn't grow up with, maybe your lights was out, your water was out, whatever the case may be, your basic needs that you needed as a child. And because we're trying to overcome that, which we went through as a child, we're still running. And a lot of us as adults are in survival mode right now. So that caused you to be emotionally dysregulated. And you are consciously in survival mode because you're trying to basically make up for your childhood. You working yourself like a dog beyond's end because I got to chase this bag, I got to get this money, but you don't know how to operate in peace. You don't know how to get somewhere and sit down and sit in peace and quiet. You don't know how to meditate on God and God's word because you got to go do this and you got to do that. Baby, let me go ahead and explain it to you. You're making up for your dysregulated childhood. You're making up for your dysfunctional childhood. And so that's another thing for those of you, you know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm giving it to you. If you have a therapist and you're trying to work to become a better you, trust me, I've been in therapy for some years and I thank God for it. Okay? I thank God for it. Because if I wasn't in therapy, if I wasn't praying and seeking God, if I wasn't saying, God help me, I've been crying out for years, God help me, please help me. God, I'm so tired. God, this and this and this. And you know why I was tired? Because I was running in survival mode as an adult. Give yourself permission to change that. Okay? That's what therapy done for me. It has. It is the best thing that I could have ever done. Because guess what? A lot of us that's my age and older, we still got what we heard our parents and elders say in the back of our head about going to therapy. We don't go down there and talk to them about our business and whatever the case may be. But baby, let me tell you this. I feel free. I'm no longer in bondage. And the thing is, why we don't go to therapy at our age and older is because we don't want to face the demons of our past. But we can't heal from those demons if we don't face them, if we don't dig in the trenches and do the work that we need to do to become a better us. And what we do is we continue to spew negativity and ugliness on everybody around us, and then we sit up here by ourselves talking about some woe is me and what's wrong with me and why don't nobody want to be around me. People are tired of negativity and everybody is choosing peace. So give yourself permission No matter what it takes. If you got to budget it in, if you got to have a counseling session every other week, if that's all you can afford, at least you are getting some help. There are so many resources and opportunities where some people will counsel for free. It's out there. We just make excuse because we don't want to get better. But how can we expect to to be with somebody, be married to somebody who's emotionally intelligent, who is healthy in their mental and their physical and their emotion? That's what we desire, and that's what we want to be with. But we don't think that they're good enough by us doing the work on ourselves. And this, my friends, after all these years, I used to ask God, why is it that people be married 20 plus years and then they go their separate ways? 9 times out of 10, one is truly of the couple are working on themselves. Even those of you who've been engaged forever, working on themselves and say, you know what? We can't continue to go forward, and they grow apart. I never understood what grow apart mean. I understand what it means now. So one is working on themselves, growing, hoping that the other one will get counseling and work on themselves and actually dig in and do the work and face their demons. But it doesn't happen. Or neither are working on themselves because it was the things that they seen. It was, oh, the sex was good. Oh, he was fine. Oh, she was this and she had that. And then guess what? When the both of you get older and all that stuff kind of fade away, y'all go y'all separate ways after all these years. So I would highly suggest that instead of sitting up here throwing your dysregulated emotions on everybody around you because you huffing and puffing and you about to blow the house down, go get you some doggone help for you find yourself by yourself. Because we've been through a lot in these last couple of years. Ain't nobody going for that mess no more. Ain't nobody going for that's just how they are. So it will behoove you, as we said in the military, to get your whole self together and become healthy. Not just for those around you, but start with yourself first. We can pray to God all we want to, but faith without works is dead. And if we're not willing to do the work, we can't expect God to do on his part, because God can't do on his part until you move and do on yours, especially if he's already told you what it is that you need to do. He's ordered your steps, so get to stepping. So y'all have a blessed week. Don't let anybody steal your joy. Be a blessing and not a curse, because people are not trying to be an emotional punching bag. Share this because it's free, because you may be feeling this way, but you don't know. You know what I'm saying? Good morning, sunshine. You don't know how to express yourself. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead and share this. Just put it out there. Let's put this out in the atmosphere. People are getting tired. That's why people out here popping off. Join us tonight for Marriage Mondays with the Kings as we continue on with Mental Health Awareness Month. We're bringing on Dr. Letitia Wilson. She is the clinical director and founder of Narrations of Life Counseling in Killeen, Texas. And baby, y'all already know we're going to ask all the questions. So if you are in a child's life, I don't care if you are a church teacher, if you're a parent, you got grandchildren, or whatever the case may be, these babies are going through. Okay, and we're going to ask all the questions to Dr. Letitia on tonight. So if you want to watch us, go to our YouTube channel. There is a link right here if you're watching from Facebook, if you're watching from Twitter, and if you're watching me this morning from the LinkedIn account. There is a link. If you're watching from Instagram, go to Marriage Mondays with the Kings YouTube channel. Click on that Notify Me, because it's a premiere or something on there. You know, I don't know how stuff works. Click on that Notify Me. And then guess what? Join us tonight. Feel free to share with others, because I'm telling y'all, listen to my heart. There are so many children that are going through right now. I feel so bad and my heart bleeds out for them. So we as adults have to do better. Let us learn how to do better, because these babies are watching us for it as an example. So I'll be back with y'all next week with whatever God has on my heart. So God bless you and blessings to you.